Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another Tax Bandits webinar. Today, our topic is Filing is Back in Session, Understanding the Form 1098 Series and Beyond. My name is Andrea Ghent. I'm the Client Success Manager.
And I'm Shakira White, Customer Success Representative.
So today, we're going to explore the following topics. What is the Form 1098 Series and why does it matter? New Tax Bandits forms and MVP forms and Tax Bandits new features. We chose the 1098 series because it is back to school. Kids are heading back to college, and some of the 1098 forms do relate to college students in one way or another. And that's why we're dressed like this. I'm a big University of South Carolina fan, so I wanted to support my team today. And Shakira, tell us about your jersey.
Well, I have on my number 9 for Bobby Boucher because The Waterboy is my favorite movie, and this is an awesome jersey.
So you're not really a college football fan. You're a college football movie fan.
Exactly.
Awesome. All right. Well, the 1098 form, I'm going to let you tell us about that, Shakira.
All right. So the 1098 form series is a group of IRS information returns. It's used primarily by lenders, educational institutions, and other organizations to report certain payments, expenses, or transactions that can affect an individual's tax return. So today we're going to cover the 1098T and E, the 1098, the 1098F, and the 1098 C and CAP. A lot of forms today.
Okay, so the Form 1098T reports qualified tuition payments, scholarships, and enrollment information. Educational institutions report it, students receive it. Filing deadline, the recipient has to have their copy by January 31st. It helps students determine federal education tax credit eligibility, and it provides a breakdown to the taxpayer, qualified tuition, scholarships, and grants, along with certain adjustments. Generally speaking, Form 1098T helps students and their families determine where they may qualify for federal tax credits. And I know that this form is not a form that everyone would file. However, Tax Bandits does support it. If you've ever received one, it could have been filed by us. We support a lot of the major universities, and I love on Saturdays, if my team's not playing, but one of our clients' team is playing, I like to pull for that team.
Awesome. All right. So if you don't receive a full ride scholarship to college, a student loan might be required, and then that's where the 1098E comes in. The 1098E reports the amount of student loan interest that's paid. Who uses it? Lenders or loan servicers reports it. Borrowers receive it, and the deadline to file and provide the recipient copy is going to be January the 31st. All right, it is very important because it reports student loan interest. Reported interest may qualify for the student loan interest deduction, which can reduce taxable income. And that form basically gives you the interest breakdown, and it can be used by filers claiming the student as a dependent as well.
Okay, so the Form 1098, it reports mortgage interest, which is $600 or more paid within 1 year. Lenders report it, borrowers receive it. The recipient copy deadline is January 31st. If you paper file the form, you have until February 28th. The e-filing deadline is March 31st. It's important because it helps homeowners prepare their tax returns. It helps you determine mortgage interest deduction eligibility.
All right, the 1098F. Court, well, that is reported for court order. If you receive court order settlement payments of $50,000 or less made by government entities, who uses it, government entities report it, payers receive it. And the deadline to file and provide the recipient copy is also going to be January 31st of the following of the year following the calendar year of the agreement becoming binding. That helps determine if any portion may qualify for another tax deduction.
Form 1098C, it reports the donation of a motor vehicle, a boat, or a plane. Qualified charitable organizations are going to report it. The donors will receive the form. The deadlines to file and provide the recipient a copy, the charitable organization should generally provide a copy within 30 days of selling the donated property or receiving a donation with the intentions to use it, improve it, or transfer to a needy individual. It's important because it helps the donor support a charitable contribution deduction. An example of this would be if a vehicle is donated to a qualified charitable organization and the organization sells it for $8,000, the charity may provide the donor with a Form 1098C. The donor can use the information from the form when preparing their tax return to determine the amount of their charitable contribution deduction based on IRS guidelines.
All right, so we've added several new 1099 series forms to our library for the 2026 tax year. While these forms serve more specialized audiences, it's important to highlight that we are continuously expanding our form offerings to meet the evolving needs of our clients. With that being said, we're going to next talk about the 1099 CAP, or 1099 CAP, as I like to say. That reports payments made to shareholders when a corporation undergoes mergers, acquisitions, other reorganization, and certain significant changes. Corporations report it, shareholders receive it. So it's generally required to file when a shareholder receives cash, stock, or property due to a change in corporate control or capital structure. The aggregate value of cash and fair market value of stock and other property received is at least $100 million for the transaction. In exchange for their stock, a shareholder receives of cash or property worth at least $1,000.
Your deadline.
All right. And so for the deadlines for the 1099 CAP, it's going to be January 31st for the recipient to have their copy. If you're paper filing, you want to mail that in by February the 28th. And if you're e-filing, that e-filing deadline is going to be March 31st.
Okay, the Form 1099 SB, it reports the seller's investment in the life insurance contract and the surrender amount of interest in contract. Sellers report it, buyers receive it. The deadlines for the form, the recipient copy needs to be sent out by January 31st. Paper filing is due by February 28th. E-filing is March 31st. This form helps the buyers determine the taxable portion of future proceeds and helps to determine the seller's basis in contract for tax reporting purposes.
All right, and Form 1097 BTC. Now, when I first originally saw this, I always thought Bitcoin, but it's not Bitcoin. So this form is used to report certain tax credits related to bonds to the person who is entitled to claim that credit. The amount of a credit, a bond tax credit that has been allocated to the taxpayer. The form is generally associated with certain tax advantage bonds, such as clean renewable energy bonds. The government and government entities report it, investors receive it. This helps investors support claiming appropriate tax credits. The deadlines for the 1097 BTC is going to be January the 31st for the recipient to have that. If you're paper filing, you want to mail it by February the 28th. And if you're e-filing, that's going to be March the 31st.
Form 1098-MA. This reports mortgage assistance payments made by a state housing finance agency. State housing agencies report it, homeowners receive it. The deadlines, recipient copy needs to go out by January 31st. Paper filing is February 28th, and e-file is March 31st. It's important because it helps homeowners account for mortgage payments made through state assistance programs and determines the proper tax treatment.
And here we go. Drum roll for our MVP forms. These are the most forms that our clients file, and it's going to be the Form 1099 NEC. You guys will see that form a lot. It reports non-employee compensation paid to contractors. And then the Form 1099 MISC or MISC, that's going to report various miscellaneous incomes, including rent, royalties, medical payments, and attorney gross proceeds.
And we've added some bells and whistles to these forms. So we're going to go over some things that are new. We now have aggregation filing, which will combine multiple payments from one payer to one recipient into one annual tax form. It reduces the number of forms necessary and reduces the number of forms submitted to the IRS and sent to recipients. For example, if you have a contractor and you've paid him 4 times throughout the year, instead of sending him 4 different 1099s, you can do the aggregate filing. It will add all of that information into one form.
All right, so here's what's new with the transaction reports. So the transaction report is going to provide a breakdown of each payment. This is something that is not filed with the IRS. What it does do is aids recipients with reconciling their records, and it's not required to aggregate a return.
These are some other new forms. First of all, the aggregation filing, it's available for the NEC, the MISC, DIV, INT, and R, 1099Q, KS, and then we've got more forms to follow.
Almost the whole alphabet.
The cheat sheet, if you have an issue with scattered information from reporting, we've got a large form selection available from 1098 to 1099 series. Multiple payments to the same contractor, you can use our form aggregation. And if a contractor needs a list of all their payments for their record keeping, we have the transaction report available. So thank you guys for joining us today. Does anyone have any questions? We'll be more than happy to answer them. For the transaction reports, can I print that whenever? Like if I needed a week after I submit the 1099? Yes, Ken. The transaction report is available within your TaxBandits account in the print form section. You can print it whenever you need it. Or even if you provide one to your contractor and they misplace it and need another one, you can print another one there as well.
That's an awesome feature to have.
Yes. My husband's a contractor. He's always losing things. You should have a social for a student because that should be required when they enroll in school or apply for their financial aid. If not, there's an alternative number that they've used, such as an ITIN. All right. Well, if you don't have any other questions, you can always reach out to us at support@taxbandits.com. We also have live chat available, and you can give us a call, or you can give us a call at 704-684-4751.
All right.
Thank you, guys.